Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to another episode of Lightshare. This is Adrian here with Dom, and today's going to be a very special episode here in person with Dom Lay.
I think, the first time we met was in
2019.
Yeah,
it's been like 7 years.
Lightbox
and
Expo.
It finally happened again. So we're just going to talk about, I actually have no idea what to start talking about, but I guess it's better to just let things happen organically, as we usually do, when we start an episode.
Yeah. I mean, so far, how's your trip to the U.S. been?
It's been super interesting. Yeah. It's always a different story to see these things in person because, learning about the world through a screen or from the books or from movies or anything like that, that's already it's like curated, it's like social media, how people post only good highlights.
Yeah.
And you get the wrong idea of what their lives are like. Kind of like same story happening here. I mean, it's always super cool to learn about the little things, not like, I don't know, the main places to go to or the main
tourist attractions.
Yeah, things as simple as, hey Dom, how does the stop, the traffic stop kind of thing work here? Because I see you guys randomly, and he's like, oh, it's actually not random. It's just whoever gets there first, and then a bunch of rules or food,
I mean, we've took him through the whole American menu.
Yeah.
From pizza to hot dogs, the cookies and ice cream, and I mean, he was a little bit mind blown at the culture shock a little bit, the sizes and everything. But it's kind of expected.
That's what I was talking about. I knew that from before, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've been here before, pretty much when I saw you that time. And I also drew the same conclusions based on the same observations. Wow, everything's so streets are wide, cars are wide, food is huge, everything, even people. But again, it depends. I was in LA, bro. That was Pasadena, right? Totally different vibe. This is a different planet. It's a different world.
And now he's in a different part. We're in OC right now.
It's super nice out here.
It's a different vibe than LA, but how has the rest of the year been for you in terms of discipline and resting and all that other stuff that we've been always talking about?
So it's been an interesting journey, right? Because every single year has been a stepping stone for me that paved the path for the next one and the next one and the next one. And I soon realized that everything was so meant to be, so meant to happen, that it could have only been designed by God, by our Creator, by this supreme force that weaves everything together. And I don't know, 2024 was a nice transition into that after finishing my Agon Tool 5 challenge, or I couldn't even call it a challenge because it lasted 7 months. But that's when I tapped deeper into my faith, and I don't know, I started to align closer with everything related to Christianity and to my discipline. I don't know, fasting, all that stuff just got more intense. And 2026 has been so good, so great, that one day just talking with Dom, he was like, bro, if you come here one day, we could go there, we could do this. And I'm like, actually, let's make that happen. He was like, really?
And I thought it was next year or something.
Yeah. I'm like, no.
Happened on the spot.
Now.
That was so cool to see you make that decision.
That's how blessed I feel, and maybe you can relate.
Yeah.
I feel so blessed because I'm exactly in this spot where I can afford to do these things. I'm not bound to any corporate schedule or anything like that. Of course, I still have my responsibilities, probably even more than before, but I'm fortunately in this position where I can just help people, and like anytime someone comes at me with like, hey Adrian, can you help me out with this and that, I'm like, okay, sure, yeah, let's do it. A couple years ago, I probably would have said, no, I'm busy, no, I got this project, no, I have to do this now, like I don't have time for anyone. But different times, same story, but different times.
Yeah.
So
that was like,
what about you?
Yeah, I think I started aligning spiritually last year. I think we discussed in the last episode, I was going through all those tumultuous events and everything. But this year really helped, I aligned with my faith more and God more. And then, we discussed about the trip and everything, and then everything kind of aligned. And we were like, bro, this is going to be an awesome trip because we both like nature. We both like the outdoors and stuff. We've kind of moved away from entertainment, social media, all that stuff. It was
all that noise of the world.
It was taking over our life pretty much over the last couple of years, and we finally reached the point together where we're kind of on the same page now. And so this trip is kind of like a retreat for both of us to sort of just mentally clear our heads and enjoy this moment, enjoy the present, away from technology and just what other people are up to, because that can be distractions in everyday things. But it's crazy how God can bring two people together with the same values from different parts of the world and build like a strong brotherhood or friendship. I don't really get that much around here where I live, and it's very rare to find someone aligned as well.
I was talking to someone recently about this in the past few months. I was like, I feel so isolated, like there's no one like me around here and all that stuff, and I'm like, we're all out there, bro. We're just scattered across the world, but we're all like stranded in our own deserts in a way. And sometimes we do cross paths and God brings us together and beautiful things occur, but until then, all we can do is to keep hoping for the best and trusting the Lord. So it's been a few really interesting days.
Kind of wish Andre was here with us. Maybe one day in the future, all three of us will get together on camera at some point.
That would be epic.
We'll make that happen later on. But I've met Andre twice in person. I've met Adrian twice now in person, and now Adrian and Andre still have to meet, so we'll have to get that going later. But it's been a wild ride since 2020 when we started the channel, and we were so young and so
we were different
infants
back then
in our mentality.
I felt a little softer back then. Not that I'm like so heroic or anything like that right now. I mean, there's an evolution, there's a pattern, there's a journey. And you go through all those stages, like I noticed this pattern, especially in the beginning of like a change. You tend to like overdo things. That spike is like so extreme, monumental that soon enough you kind of like learn to balance it out. And it's not that it settles, it's just that it stabilizes, I would say. And from there on, the change is no longer that external anymore. It's more like internal.
Right.
So that's when it becomes more invisible towards the outer world, and people can't notice that in you, but I mean, they can't see it, but they can notice it, they can feel it, you know. It's everything from the way you talk, the way you express yourself, the way you conduct yourself, the way you
move,
everything you do. Yeah,
I mean, we went through like a huge transition between 2020 and 2026. Like, I mean, if you've watched all our videos from beginning to the most recent ones, like, we've changed as people, and, you know, in the good way. Like, I feel, well, now it feels balanced, but there were times where, you know, we started off kind of, oh, it's okay, like, take more rest, do this, and then next couple episodes we're like, no, you got to work hard, you got to push all the way through, no days off, kind of thing.
And now we're kind of like finding that balance, that
work
in between.
Hard, rest, kind of thing.
And that's pretty much how it works. I honestly, I don't think you can land exactly in that middle spot right away, because that would be like teleporting to the summit, you know, without climbing the mountain. That climb is everything. Like, it's full of lessons, full of stuff to learn, and without it, you wouldn't be able to appreciate those beautiful views at the top. It's pretty much like being born into greatness and, like, you know, a rich environment and everything, overabundance of every kind, without rules or bounds or like restraints, you know, like, you just don't know when to stop. But when you come from like very, like, how to explain this, I don't know, like, you don't have everything, and that's the point, you know. If you play a video game with like cheat codes all the time, it becomes very boring very soon. Like, just think about it right now. If you had all the money in the world, I'm sure there's a bunch of ideas that would cross your mind what to do with that money, right? I would do this, I would do that. After you've exhausted all the options, you would still have something else that is like nagging at you, you know, like something kind of like...
I think that's why a lot of people get depressed when they have too much of a good thing, you know, like, there's no extra challenge to accomplish. It's just like...
they feel like there's nothing to do.
Challenges is what kind of provides you with that extra hop in your step, you know, like, there's the next obstacle, but, you know, they can go on and on forever, but at least it gives you something to do, and, you know, you're not just always stagnating, because I've kind of felt this too, like, within the past year, of just doing the same kind of routine, and you know, not working on my stuff for a while. I was just taking a lot of rest without doing any work, and I felt like I needed to do something, you know. I wanted to, like, work on something passionate, or
Bro, I felt kind of the same, you know, like, taking a break for so long. Look, I don't question it. Like, it's God's plan, and all my steps are guided as much as possible. I fully trust Him, and I always pray for that guidance. But I'm noticing how even that is a lesson in and of itself. It doesn't mean you can just take your hands off the wheel and just hope for the best, you know. It means you have to be intentional and all that stuff. And where am I going with this? Atrophy, not only physically, but also like mentally, spiritually. When you stop doing things, it's like pushing a boulder up the mountain. The moment you stop pushing it up, it kind of goes back, right? So I mean, that happens in different proportions depending on what we talk about. But I noticed it, and fortunately, it's like, those are the lessons that we're taught, you know, like, to appreciate these things that we have, to value these things.
So true.
Everything. Family, friends, projects, ideas. But before we get there, health, a fully functional body, fully functional mind,
spirit.
everything's there, but above everything, the vertical connection. Right. So
yeah, there's so many people lost in this world today, and yeah, I mean, I think you got to go through those difficult moments to, like we always say, finding that balance is, going through those difficult moments in order to find it. You can't just go to balance right away. You have to experience both spectrums first before you find that middle ground. And you appreciate the hard work more that you put in.
I mean, let's take it from the perspective of like world building, for example, because I know that's a topic people love to hear, right? Anything art related or technicality or technical aspects of the creative process and stuff like that. So let's make an analogy based on that. Do you imagine yourself starting a new project, like a world building project? You have an idea, but you don't want to start until you framed everything perfectly. You don't want to start until every single page is measured, every single artwork is like briefed, like the instructions, you write them down and everything. Imagine that. Would you do it that way? Is that how you do a project?
No.
Don't you just start with like a tiny idea and start learning more and more as you explore it?
Yeah.
And then you get like subtle, ideas for expanding that initial idea into something else. Oh, let me try a short animation now. Yeah, this could be, actually no, it's a book, but thanks to this, I now see this whole scene, which makes this entire chapter, and I can develop it into, actually, it's not a textbook, it's more like an art book. Yeah, full of illustrations, and that's how it works. You didn't land there first directly, which is what most people used to think, because when they see you, how can I say this? The iceberg. Yeah, the tip of the iceberg. They think that's it. That floats above the water and that's it. They don't see what's underneath. Yeah. That whole body of like ice and stuff sustaining that tip. Right. It's the same story, bro, everywhere. Because our world is built on patterns.
Yeah.
And ignoring those patterns is basically doing a disservice to your own understanding of existence.
Yeah, and also I think people want to just follow what other people are doing, because they lack kind of some self-autonomy to make decisions for themselves. So they have to follow some kind of crowd or trend or something to guide them.
It's not entirely wrong, unless we're talking about
using it as like a crutch. Or
what matters is who you follow, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what makes the difference. Because at the end of the day, we can't pretend to be like superior or like above everything.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
So what matters is the force that guides you. Yeah. Is it from above or is it from below? It's tricky. Most people confuse one for another sometimes. Mm-hmm. Some people are entirely detached from that idea. They think that's just me.
Doesn't work like that.
I earned it. I made it. It's all thanks to me. I'm strong. I'm this. I'm that. Mm-hmm. It's so cool that you looked up while I said that. It's like acknowledging, like, it's not me. It's him.
And, you got to give credit to where it is. It's not all just about you.
Exactly.
Because that doesn't come from a place of humility at that point.
There's a ton of lessons of humility and like a ton of other things that I've also talked about on my channel, in case you guys want to check that out. But yeah, it's been a really interesting journey so far, and this year is being all the more interesting and like surprising in many ways. I don't know. It's like at some point, I know I said earlier that you can't let go of the wheel, but what if you just fully trust the Lord to guide you, and to just drive? So you delegate that, not delegate it, but you fully trust Him, and you just forget about everything else.
Yeah, exactly.
And suddenly all your fears, all your preoccupations, all your worries and all that stuff are gone. Which goes back to what you asked me once, like, Adrian, I like how I don't know how you do it, bro. Like, you're just so zen, so, like, chill. The world could be burning and you would still not bat an eye. And I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, I do feel it, of course. Maybe troubles are internal, but I guess I try not to lose track, not to lose focus.
Like stoicism.
Yeah,
just
but
being grounded.
Stoicism is interesting because, it promotes that kind of like
grounded structure,
mental toughness, foundation, and all that stuff, but it's self-reliant, self-centered. So it doesn't resonate much because my strength doesn't come from myself. Our power comes from Him, from the Lord, from God, not from us.
Yeah, I like how we're going into more spirituality, like this kind of segment, because in our description bio, spirituality is one of the key aspects that we cover in Lightshare.
But it wasn't clear enough.
Yeah.
It was like spirituality, and nowadays that can mean anything. I mean, this symbol could probably be like some new age kind of movement of, I don't know, like some symbol.
Yeah. But faith in general, like
but
our
God,
beliefs,
Jesus. Yeah. Like, you shouldn't be ashamed of like recognizing the truth and acknowledging all of that. And that's why I'm really proud of us for how far we've come and how our life journeys are developing and unfolding in real time as we just become more and more aware of every single step of the process.
And we were seeing all of that just through a video camera, on the computer, just seeing how we are all developing and changing and morphing, and it was it's like a science project, but it was actually happening. Like,
sometimes it does feel like an experiment.
Yeah.
But it's what happens when curiosity meets the willing to actually take action and find out, I guess.
Yeah. People were surprised at how we were able to just keep going for this long, and I think what drew us together was God, and it was the values that we all shared. And while the world was trying to pull us away or like pull us apart, through all the, politics or events that are happening in the world or
noise.
Whatever,
Noise. Just noise.
It was like a wake-up call that like we have to focus and align, and if we want to stay strong together as all three of us, like it's tough, but
and it's really interesting to see how like whether we knew it or not, we were following into these steps to get where we are right now. Things like noise that I mentioned before. It's noise, bro. It's just noise. Well, it's like that basketball in the background, That's noise. It's not that my mind should focus on that. It's just passing by. That's a great analogy. What do you do with that kind of noise when it hits you?
You let it pass through you.
You focus on it and dedicate your full attention to it? No. That's it.
It stopped.
You just let it go. So, it's interesting how so many times we've acknowledged these shadows of that truth without actually paying attention to where the light that was casting those shadows was coming from. I guess that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Because I've made videos on this. I have a ton of notes and all that stuff. that only now, reflecting back on those times. By the way, I hope the wind is not too bad. I have like a windshield just in case. You can probably pull it out.
You want to change spots again?
No, it's fine. Yeah, you can keep covering me for that.
What were you saying?
Doesn't matter, bro. It's a podcast. You can talk. There we go.
But yeah, we were just saying how all three of us are aligning despite how hard it is out there in the world, like keeping us together. And I've seen a lot of podcasts out there sort of drop off the map because life happened or work got in the way or something like that. But you make time for these things, and it's beautiful to look back on it several years later, and you just we keep updating on our lives through each episode, like how we've been, even how our careers are changing as well, like the whole industry and everything.
Yep.
I mean, we've sort of I'll be honest, like we've sort of moved a little bit past that and distanced ourselves a little bit from what's going on out there in the industry, I think.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've been totally...
We still make art and stuff, but we're not in that arena anymore.
Yeah, I mean, for me at least, not only that, but the entire world. I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't want to sound like I'm bragging or whatever, but I don't watch the news. I'm not on social media. I'm not on Instagram or TikTok or LinkedIn or whatever people do nowadays. I don't... In a way, it's like I don't need to know. And I know that might sound strange, but I don't need to feel connected to the latest trends, the latest releases of the latest titles of video games, movies, TV shows. Have you seen this new show? It's called... I'm like, no. Really, dude, you gotta watch it. It's so cool. All right. Yeah, maybe. But no, it's just...
I mean,
no.
Yeah, that extra noise is infecting your mind, and a lot of people don't realize how negative they can get just from consuming that stuff. Like, bro, have you seen what happened in this country?
That's super dangerous, though, because that's...
I mean, that's what happened to me last year. I was pulled into that mess, and then I snapped out of it. God woke me up out of that curse, and that's why I was telling, like, Adrian was right, bro. Like, he was right to not look at that stuff. And I realized, like, why
I noticed how
is it so...
Yeah, so I was fasting physical food, right? Mm-hmm. Like biological reasons, health, wellness, all that stuff. Look at me, I perform better now, exercise, all that stuff. But internally, that fasting was also affecting me at a spiritual level, because I was also fasting from entertainment, from all the noise that I mentioned before. It's like we're going full circle to that again. Because when you drop that level of noise, you can finally hear the faint sound of truth. That's where God speaks. So when you cover that with all this worldly noise, food, entertainment, all these devices that we're drenched in, we're drowning in all this sea of sinful entertainment and all that stuff, it's when you lose touch, you lose everything. You no longer even know who you are.
Yeah.
No wonder why we feel so lost, because we refuse to take the hand that is being offered to us.
It's like that Bible verse I showed you a while ago. The eye is the lamp of the body. If your eyes are unhealthy,
that's it.
Your body's full of darkness. If your eyes are healthy, your body's full of light.
And just like a line that I wrote in one of my books, the eyes are the hands of the soul. You touch things with your eyes.
Yeah.
And what you touch, you cannot forget. That's why it matters so much. What you let in matters.
Goes to your brain, your heart, your soul.
Yeah,
everything.
And it affects you.
Yeah.
Which is why watching certain things like, I don't know, violent videos or some explicit videos,
crime dramas,
inappropriate stuff.
Horror.
Yeah. Watch this, bro. Check this out. Look at this guy. Some stabbing or, some accident or some like,
guy got shot.
What for?
Yeah.
I didn't need to see that today. But look, this 5-year-old. And I'm like, bro, please. Like, I get it. Evil is all over the world. Yeah. So just because you're choosing to extrapolate like one sensationalized moment that some media outlet is using as, I don't know, some form of like monetization. Basically, they're monetizing fear.
Yeah.
Right? It's what I realized the news do a long time ago. When's the last time you saw something good in the news? Okay. And out of that, how much of it was like positive, proportionally bulky, in the whole show? It's likely like 30 seconds, 1 minute.
Just the weather.
you get like 20 to 30 minutes of horrible stuff. And then like 30 seconds of like something nice.
A cat got saved or
but it's like eating a leaf of lettuce after 10 ice creams.
Yeah.
So you can't just go to the gym for one day and expect the rest of your life to be fit forever. There's a maintenance process. You can't neglect it. That's discipline. That's why we show up every time.
And we encourage you guys, hopefully, to do the same. It's hard. It's easy said than done, but, you just gotta trust.
But hear me out, because this is something we've been saying for a long time. Like, it's not meant to be easy. And I know that sounds like a cliche, kind of like motivational, inspirational quote or something, but it's true. We said it not because we thought it was cool, but because we felt it. Like, we've been through it. We've experienced that in our own flesh. And now it resonates more than ever when you see it depicted in something much more ancient than us. Like these ancient texts. The Bible, Scripture, the Word of God. Like, you see it there, and it's like, dude, that's true. It was never meant to be easy, and it'll likely get even worse, which is not a way for me to be, like, catastrophic or to sound like, what's the name for that? There's a word.
Doom and gloom.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, guys, it's so bad out here. It's going to be even worse. But it's true. It's going to be even worse. And that's fine, because this is not all we have.
These are just storms passing by.
Yeah. You're not meant to camp here. You're not meant to live here forever. You're meant to camp here. This is like a transitional period. Same with any storm, like Dom said.
Like, for me, for example, I'm still kind of healing my nervous system from last year. And it takes a ton of maintenance to settle down the brain, because when you're on screens, or even if I look at screens for more than an hour, I start feeling like those brain zaps in my head. And it's a sign for me that, I got to take a step back, from screen time and take some rest and go outside and go for a walk.
It's like spiritual junk food.
Yeah. It's like, it's time to read my Bible, I noticed that I'm feeling these sensations. I'm getting drawn back in. I don't want to go through that whole stage anymore, so I have to maintain getting out of that. So, spiritual maintenance, physical maintenance, mental.
I was about to mention something about this beautiful place. Oh yeah, speaking about that maintenance, it's basically as simple as a walk, like walk anywhere. It doesn't have to be a beautiful place like this, but it does sure help. And fortunately, our world is full of that. It's covered in the glory of God and His creation. Sunsets, sunrises, mountains, vegetation of so many types, like even miniature worlds like this leaf over here. If you look closer, you'll find a ton of inspiration. It's not just in the most beautiful paintings out there. It's not that inspiration is hiding from you in some masterpiece that some other guy made. It's literally everywhere. Anything could, like, look, this case. You see, don't ask me what right now, but this could become some form of prop for a sci-fi movie or for a fantasy project of some kind. I don't know. Like this one, for example, opens like this, but yours could open in like so many puzzle-like manners. So, yeah, it's actually as complex as you want to make it. It's up to you. All you have to do is take the first step. Don't be afraid, guys. Fear really kills dreams.
Yeah, so true.
And, well, this is more of a personal thing of mine, but fear is also like something that I consider like forbidden because it's disrespectful. When you walk with Jesus, with the Creator himself, who else are you to fear except for him?
There's something said about, like, if you worry or if you fear, it means that you don't trust God enough to do his job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, well said. So just look at David, Goliath. God didn't send David a crown to make him king. He sent him Goliath. Just goes to show that some of the greatest things are handed to us at the cost of our courage and willpower. And I guess in this case, David didn't rely on himself because he was small compared to Goliath. But that was not about size. That was about who was besides David, right? Because he was supported by God. And I could have phrased that in a much better and more poetic way, but you guys get what I'm trying to say. And yeah, there's a ton of ways to go about this, but at the end of the day, it's basically about not fearing anything except God and trusting his plan and everything he's got in how can I say this? Everything he's got in the plan for you. Yeah, everything will be all right.
Definitely.
As bad as it looks, as scary as it seems, it'll be fine.
Yeah, there's nothing to be anxious about, and
Marriage.
I have this problem.
Yeah, go on.
Of anxiety and worry sometimes. But it's like, what hour do I gain from worrying? And as the Bible says, tomorrow will worry about itself. We have enough problems today. So focus on what you have to tackle today, and step by step, 1 foot, right foot, left foot, right foot.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what it is. Marriage, relationships, friendships, projects, companies. But I have to be loyal to this company.
Oh, yeah.
That also matters, that kind of like
status.
Loyalty.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, like we're getting into the age of like brand tribalism, where people's like, I'm an iPhone guy, or I'm an Apple guy, or I'm a Samsung guy, or I'm a Microsoft guy, Windows, whatever it is, I don't care. Like BMW, Mercedes, Tesla, I don't know. It's not about that, Sure, the technical stuff is cool, but remember that once you leave this realm, you can't take it with you. None of that survives that transition. Mm-hmm. Only what's on your spirit does. So that's why you have to aim to cultivate all these traits that are timeless, instead of wasting time on things that are perishable.
Yeah.
Do you know that Bible verse about fearing the one who can kill the soul? Or I can't remember right now.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's
don't fear the one that kills the body. Fear the one that can kill the soul.
And throw it into hell. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean.
It's also like sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me.
Yeah.
Maybe it's along the lines that I'm trying to use here, but yeah.
Yeah, we shouldn't be afraid of anyone in this world, you know. We should only fear the one who created us. And it may seem like impossible to not afraid of people or things in this world.
I mean, we're human after all, right?
Yeah.
Fear is natural, it's normal.
Human instinct, but
what we've been saying feels impossible because of that reason. But I'm human. That's fine. Even Jesus wept and faced temptation and all that stuff, right? Because he was embodying the human experience as well.
Right.
But we're not him. So all we can do is to try to be closer to him, to be more like him. And that's what gets us places. You know, it goes back to what I said before about who you follow. Well, if I follow Jesus, that makes me a follower of Christ. But that's not just something you can say. It's not just spoken. It has to be here, and only God sees our heart. So you got to be honest with yourself, because you can't pretend to hide something, from God, or to kind of like pretend that he needs to know something about you that he doesn't know yet.
He already knows.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, you're going to do that thing. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I saw it coming.
So I like how this episode went down a route of like, Christian commentary and faith and spirituality and stuff. I assume people were waiting for this episode to be like, they were probably expecting it to be more of an art episode. Like, yeah, so have you seen what happened to this IP? Like, I was on our station the other day, and like this artist said this, and they posted that, and
yeah,
we don't do that kind of drama.
A whole bunch of drama.
We've been there before
now
because of that other step in our journey that we were also, of course, deeply into that.
I mean, I was doing that a lot to Adrian last year, bringing a lot of news from the latest art news to him, saying, look, bro, look what's going on with so-and-so, look what's happening with this company.
Yeah, like everything's bad out there. Like, look, people are kind of like in a bad spot.
I didn't realize it at the time how infectious that energy can be, or it can leak into, and Adrian's like, bro, you gotta stop with that. And I'm like,
it was not because of me. Like, I was worried about you. Like, bro, I don't want you to be like drenched, like drowning in those waters, because that's what it feels like. It might feel, how can I say this, like not pleasant, but like comfortable, because evil is like so tricky, dude.
Yeah,
it catches you and like this.
It's like a scammer. They find conniving ways to get you.
And that's the lie that kicked us out of grace, right?
Yeah.
It's like, eat this and you shall be like God. And all they found was death in return. So that's what happens with these news. Oh, but I got to stay informed. But I got to know. But I got to learn. I got to stay in touch with the world, because I got to know what's going on so that I can know how to operate. Do you think that's real?
Reels, yeah.
You think that's real?
What people think and stuff?
No, like, do you think you really have to know all of that in order to kind of live your life?
Absolutely not.
What happens when you drop that? This. Finally, it's like a tight chain. Yeah, this, like, you finally see.
Like,
you know, because up until that point you get like tunnel vision, and all you see is like
this box in front of you.
Exactly.
Like this, but then you forget to look around you.
The screen,
and look up. You know.
Look, and this doesn't mean that this is inherently evil. You know, it's just tech.
A tool.
It's a tool. Yeah. So it's basically what you make it. For example, we use it more for creative purposes. We use it to kind of like write, to record stuff,
make lists.
I've been documenting pretty much every moment across this this trip right now, and well,
that's awesome.
I'm simply not resonating with that kind of stuff. Just like, bro, if you go on a diet, not only physical food and stuff, but also like mental, spiritual, and everything for about 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and someone suddenly offers you like a junk food type of meal, you're gonna be likely like, yeah, no thanks, you know. But it's so appetizing, it's so good, it's so this, so that. If you bite into that, you're gonna be so overwhelmed just because your what's the name, your threshold, no, it's your baseline has been like lowered. That noise, have you guys noticed that at night all the noise seems like so amplified, right? Because that's what your ears do when they stop getting all that noise from the day. It's like it settles a little bit and every noise sounds like way louder than expected. That's what I'm talking about. When you get used to that lower threshold, that lower baseline, you reset your standards. So a strawberry is suddenly the sweetest thing in the world. You don't need sugar, you don't need candy, you don't need chocolate and all that stuff. That's what I'm talking about. Fruit is finally delicious again. Because let's be honest, when you have like so much entertainment, so much abundance of everything, synthetic or artificial or whatever it is, you know, it's made to be appealing because it's based on competition, I guess. It's a business after all. So they have to win. They have to win you over. They have to hook you. And that's how it works.
Yeah, I notice when I take a break from that stuff and I go outside, like everything looks clear, you know, like the leaves have color in them, like the texture, you can see it.
More like they finally exist because you don't even acknowledge
like materializing in front of me.
Yeah.
And it's, you start appreciating all these things around you. There's so many times where I just want to smash my phone, just like throw it against the wall, you know. But it takes restraint, right? Like we said, the managing it. Like,
but that's not because it's suddenly misbehaving or something, like not responding, right?
Yeah.
It's because of what you see in,
like you don't want this
on social media, or you clicked on a video that turns out to be something that wasted your time, or and
you read the comment section.
No.
Oh yeah. People are like, like I don't like this person. I don't like this person. Like you're like, yeah, I don't like him too. Or someone says something you don't agree with, and it angers you. Like, oh, I didn't. You know, why is he saying that? You know, why did he have that opinion? And then you post your own opinions on social media, and then you get into this negative spiral.
Yeah, I almost see it as like you falling for the trap, like playing that game, entering that loop. Because you grow so tired of seeing that you feel the need to kind of intervene and say, okay guys, like here's what's going on, and then they reply, and then you fight back, and then this, and then that, and you're suddenly in that loop. Exactly what you didn't want. Best thing you can do is to walk away from it, you know, except if they corner you, or, you know, this is like typical teachings in martial arts, right? Martial arts are about like teaching you how to fight, but not like to be an attacker, more like to defend yourself, to fight back, not to fight first, you know. It's like this man that he just approached us, you know, like
his grip.
Yeah, it was like so an old guy around here, like just stretching and stuff. He comes over like, hey, how are you guys doing? You know, shakes our hands. And he's like 70 something, 75 or something. And he's like, yeah, I've been
super humble guy, nice.
I've been around the world, you know. He speaks so many languages. Like he spoke Romanian, he spoke Spanish, Russian. He almost like even sung some songs, you know, like
Chinese,
yeah.
And he was like,
but he was like, you know, strong, with
biceps.
You know, like, he was like
he looked a bit skinny fat, but you know, he looked like
he didn't look like two.
He shook our hands and his
didn't
grip
look like
was
two in shape, but. Then he shook our hands and was like, yeah, I can. I'm strong, you know. He was squeezing hard, and I'm like, yeah, I get it.
He's I tossed somebody against the wall once, and like, whoa, he didn't survive.
Yeah. So you see, we were talking about martial arts.
Yeah.
So they teach you to be capable, but not to abuse your power. You know, to like
brandishing your weapon.
You
like keep it in your sheath, or
it's like that thing. I heard Jordan Peterson like a decade ago say something like that. I think, like you should be a monster, but you should be able to control it.
Yeah.
And I made like my own analogy with that, with like the example of a sword. You know, like you said. You walk around with a sword, but like you wave it around in the faces of everyone just to terrify them and to make sure they understand that you're the man, you know, like you're the boss. That's just projecting insecurity, because in reality, all you need is like you've got the sword. It's like sheath. Okay, so you put it in there and you just walk around. People know it. People see you. People know you can.
Sometimes they can't. A lot of people can underestimate you.
Yeah, but hey, when they do,
you don't have
that's when you pull it out and you fight.
Yeah.
You don't need to walk around like this, waving it in people's faces, right? That's the same thing with like anything you can do. You don't need to wave a flag about your every ability for people to acknowledge you.
Yeah.
Because that would be like seeking validation in places that don't really care about you. And the more you try, the harder you try, the more difficult it is. It's almost as if the harder you try to reach the summit of the mountain, that top gets higher the more that you try to climb. But the more you focus on the present moment, on every single step you take, the sooner you'll get there, and you won't even notice, because it's not about the destination. It's about the process. It's about the journey. And on that note, I think we can wrap the episode. And I wanted to thank you guys for listening to us in this unusual setting, which I hope you enjoyed as much as we did, because it's truly beautiful out here.
It's awesome, bro.
Like, it's quiet, peaceful, silent.
And the next week we're probably going to be back on our screens again. But this is like such a surreal moment, like us, you know, meeting in person after so long, like 7 years ago. You know, first time we met, we were completely different people, you know, just our former selves, but now we've matured and developed over the years, and coming back in person.
Totally. And I appreciate it, bro.
No worries, bro.
Thank you for this opportunity. And I hope to see you guys soon.
Yeah.
Until then, take care and have a good one.
See you guys.
Bye-bye. God bless.
God bless.